I want to bring in Scott Bauer. He's the CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. Scott, you interested in trading a parts vending machine company, or is it too obscure?
Why not, right? I mean, option liquidity is not too bad in it, and you know, why not? You know, Michael made some really great points talking about the macro view of this company. And when I look at the technicals of this, if you look just about a month, 6 weeks ago, it actually had the golden cross to the upside, and just recently it had the death cross to the downside. So it's really hard to technically look at anything on the charts here. However, I look at the summary in pretty much what Michael said about what is the macro view, what is the tariff issue. Unfortunately for them, much like many other industrial companies, they've had to pass on higher prices to their customers. They do see some added revenue, but that's going to be a tough thing here. And I think there's just too many headwinds coming into this space to really like it. So I'm buying a put spread, but I'm not buying an October put spread, even though earnings are coming out right now and October expiration is next week. I want to give this a little time, Oliver, because I think that guidance here is really going to be dependent on some of these China tariff talks. And if there's anything negative, and I personally, I don't mean to be the glass half empty guy here, I personally think that we're not going to see any sort of resolution. So I like the downside play here, but it's a very limited investment. So I'm buying the 27.5 put spread, but that's going all the way out to November. So I'm getting 5 weeks out of this trade here. I can buy that for about 65 cents, pretty cheap. The reason I'm choosing those strikes, number one, if I look out to November, the option market is pricing in a move that to the downside would take it to about 27.5. There's also some support in the stock down there. So again, I think they're really fighting an uphill battle here. I'd love to see that whole space break out, whether it's on trade resolution or not. I just think in the short term, they've got some issues.
Now, I like the point that you bring in here from the macro side about the improvement in housing. You would think that's going to ripple its way through construction as well, since there's been committed home sales and new home sales that have picked up. So, Scott, the question then as we connect this kind of to the macro story of the hour is is there inherent risk to trading anything cyclical in this market with the trade overhang?
There's always risk to it, but with added risk, Oliver, also brings additional reward. And that's why I want to look at any sort of setup, whether it's in Fastenal or another, another stock in that space or any of these industrials here. I want to have a trade on that limits my risk. So if I am wrong, I go into the trade knowing what I can lose.
Sure.
Nothing open-ended, and that's exactly the case here.
All right, nicely done. Fastenal, we'll get the results on the way. Going to be an important one as we try and assess just how rough things have gotten. But as we see in the data, some decent little growth here for this company. Scott Bauer, nice work. Appreciate it as always. The CEO of Prosper Trading Academy with the morning trade.